If you've just bought a Logitech RS50 hub and rim, or you're thinking about buying one, great news, because it's one of the most popular wheels in the world right now. But this is a different type of wheel than the entry-level Logitech G29 or G923. This is a hub and rim system that you actually need to assemble, and it has a lot more features than you might think. So in this video, I took it to Silverstone, and I'm going to explain to you what all the buttons do, how I map them, and also some other things that you should look out for. Remember, if you want to buy an RS50 rim and hub, make sure to use my code Kireth5 and get 10% off, I believe, at checkout. So I brought here to Silverstone actually, because I've been driving today, my RS Track Logitech wheel and rim system. Yes, because there's two different bits here. So this is super important if you think about buying this for anyone else. The bit on the back you see here, this is actually the hub system. And if you didn't know, this bit here that you can see all this metal and what you hold on to is actually the rim. Now, Logitech also sell a round rim that you see me use. This is the RS Track. They also do some by Momo, and they now do a McLaren for the first time. They do a McLaren Formula One rim. It actually looks a little bit similar to this one. Now, the most important thing when you're buying your hub and rim system is that when you buy your hub, you have the option of getting an Xbox version or just a PC version. Now, whatever wheelbase you're using, so whether the RS50 PlayStation or just PC or G Pro PlayStation PC, if you get an Xbox hub, whatever that is, it's going to work on Xbox. So if you're not sure about what console you might want to use in the future, I would recommend just paying a little bit more. It's not too much for the Xbox version. That'll have the Xbox button on the hub, and then you know you're covered for Xbox in the future. It could help resale value as well. Now, if you get the version that just has a PC icon, then that is not going to work on Xbox, okay? Just to be clear. So now you've got your hub and rim system. It's super easy to connect, although there is a little tweak actually. So you just bolt in through these six bolts here. Now there are some more that you're meant to do, and I didn't do all of them. So in fact, you can see this one I didn't do. You're meant to do that bolt as well. So just so you don't forget, you do get 3 extra bolts. I never did it, and it still works for me. So when it comes to the buttons, importantly, this is not a funky switch. So don't try and rotate it, it won't rotate. This is I think an 8-way D-pad. So it works, you get through all the menus on PlayStation with it, and it's an 8-way D-pad. Interestingly, you can put the rim on around it, can't you? So that's quite a cool feature. Then on this Xbox version here, you can see we've got the A, B, X, Y, and then LT, RT, RSB, LSB, and the share button, the share button here, and then the Xbox. So it's all Xbox face buttons. They'll have exactly the same functions if you have a PlayStation version of this, if you've got the bundle with your RS50, or you've got the PC version. So these buttons might have different logos on them, but they're all going to perform the same functions. Like this is going to be your main button here, I believe. I can't remember, no, that's your main one. That's the X on PlayStation, the A on Xbox. So all the same there, don't worry about it. Now, if you want to navigate through your settings on your RS50 or G Pro, this is the one to use. This is the one I use to go up settings and click this in. So yes, you have a little button on the front of the G Pro, you have a bigger button on the front of the RS50, but to actually go through it, you have to use this. By the way, let me know in the comments if that's helped you out, because I'm sure there's going to be someone who just doesn't know how to scroll through, and I don't blame you. And by the way, if you are thinking about buying this, make sure to use my code Kireth. I think it gets 5 or 10% off the Logitech G stuff, which is really cool. So you've got the 2 rotaries here on Gran Turismo. They're really helpful. They go through the menu system. And then in terms of what I would bind to, because most sims will allow you to rebind it, for look left and look right, I actually quite like using these buttons for look left and look right. And in iRacing, it asks you to bind that every time you start. So I would really think about doing that. These ones you can bind to something like maybe the traction control or the ABS. And as you get more comfortable with your driving, and if you're doing a sim where the conditions change, you might on the fly say, I feel like the TC is cutting in a bit too much. I want to let the back end come around a little bit. I'm going to put the TC down a bit. Or I'm locking up too much here. I want to increase the ABS and use it here. So I would use these ones for that. Remember, you also have the select as well, that on something like iRacing, you can map to a different feature. For this one, on the black box, I would use it to navigate the black box in iRacing, and I've used a combination of these sometimes to go through the black box. So there's not a huge amount of buttons on this, but interestingly, they're all within really thumb's reach. So if I put it here, you can see thumb's reach, I can actually reach all of these. That's a really underrated feature with this wheel, and it's a very sensible thing about using this bolt pattern where you can't put any buttons here because it's not going to come through this actual aluminium faceplate. So I like that. Some wheel manufacturers will put a load of buttons in the middle here and then you can't really access them. You also have this rotary here on the side that's always easily accessible as well. So nice features. Now when it comes to the back, this is the quick release. Now on the actual G Pro original wheel, you just kind of slot it in like that and it slots in automatically. This one doesn't do that. You need to pull it in and kind of put it in. Okay, so you pull this back, slot it in, and you should feel that click. And what you want to do is you want to align your RS50 or G Pro wheelbase. The shaft that comes out has a little groove on the top, and that aligns with the little arrow here. Really important you do that, otherwise you're going to mess things up because there's actual pogo pins here that need to go in. So hopefully you get that connected, you turn on your wheelbase, and then the wheel will do a little movement. It will ask you what platform you want unless you pre-selected it. So I just often just scroll down to my platform, put that in, and then on PlayStation, even if you've got this hub, this is what I use on PlayStation, you need to press this button to select a profile for your controller. You log in with your profile, and then it's just like having a PlayStation controller. Now there's one more thing I'm going to show you on this wheel, but if I've helped you so far, please leave me a like in the video, a comment under the video, and leave a hype if you've got one as well. It's a new thing YouTube are doing. So a little cool feature, these are magnetic shifters, which is really cool. I think Logitech could have saved a little bit of money about not going magnetic here, but they have gone magnetic, which is great because the hub is going to be the lifeblood of this ecosystem and you're going to be upgrading the rims around it. So you have the magnetic shifters, but you can actually adjust these. So there's little screws here. If you unscrew these, you can actually move the shifters, in this case, in a little bit. So if you feel like the shifters aren't quite working for you, you can adjust them. So you can see here, actually, probably, because I've got fairly large hands, it might be helpful for me to have the shifters there because otherwise I'm going to be a little bit uncomfortable opening my hands here. So that's a little bit of a feature you can do. The last things you want to do before you use this wheel is check you've tightened all these bolts correctly. If you want to do it properly, make sure you put that last one in as well. Make sure you've got your shifters screwed in correctly as well. And then finally, make sure you've got a good connection. It should pick up on the screen. This light at the bottom should illuminate and you're good to go on your RS50 or G Pro. So again, I really hope that's helped you. I have a separate settings guide video for this as well. And I'm excited if you're using equipment like this. Hopefully you're going to have a great time in sim racing. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.